cut off on me. Oh my goodness. And it's still showing that I'm on the other live. What's up, YouTube? What is going on? I don't even know if anybody's going to see this or what. I don't know what happened. Oh, I'm just going to wait for a second. It just... Oh, man. This thing just cut off on me. Damn it. Hey, I don't know what happened. I was in the midst of doing another live and it just cut off. Hey, Miss P. So, like, I have another live that's going on and I'm not there, and I don't understand what happened. It just, YouTube just cut me off. I'm good. How are you? How are you? So I was in the midst of talking about who's the boss and how your body is the boss of you. No matter what emotional things you try to convince it into agreeing with, no matter what kind of negotiations you try to do with your body will override. Your body would override it, and it will do what's necessary to balance itself out. So, the message is to obey your body. Let your body be the boss. I really feel that everything that you want, everything that we personally want to accomplish in our lives, starts with the honoring of the vessel that we have. The honoring of the vessel that we have. Some of us have had rough starts, and some of us have, hold on. Some of us have adopted habits, bad habits from, our environment, parents, siblings, whatever, and we have to do a little bit of deprogramming. Maybe a little bit of cultural deprogramming in order to bring ourselves back into balance. But no matter what your culture is, no matter how you were raised, no matter what your environment was, your body sends you signals of what it can handle and what it can't handle, what's best for it and what's not, no matter who you were born to. I don't care what your mother is. I don't care what she didn't do, how happy the home was or how unhappy the home was, or what, how culturally tight-knit you are, and, you spend holidays, Christmases, and Easters and all that stuff every year together, annual family reunions and all that. Your body doesn't care about any of that. None. It will override your culture. You know that? Your body and what it needs is going to override whatever cultural practices you have. Thank you, Salima, for the donation. Thank you. It will. It doesn't know any of that. It knows sleep. It knows when it's time to wake up. It knows how much food it needs for energy, how much water. It knows what is going to be brain food or what's going to cause brain fog in you, and it lets you know that. In spite of your culture, in spite of your habits, in spite of what you've always done all your life, it lets you know. It lets you know. So, wait a minute. What's that? Myoka Hybrid Hotel. No, I'm not there, honey. I'm not in a hybrid hotel. How is that even coming up? That's interesting. Now that's interesting. YouTube, something else. Anyway. Hey, Tiffany. Oh, it was on the last live? How did that even come up? Okay. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. The boss, I posed the question, who's the boss? The boss is this vehicle that you have here. Everything you want to manifest has to come through this vehicle. Everything. The man you want, the money you want, whatever it is that you want has to come through this vehicle. And you gotta start obeying it. You gotta start obeying the laws of the vehicle. You got to get your sleep at night. You know, I'm bad with that too sometimes, but I'm definitely getting a lot better with it. 9 p.m. bedtime was almost impossible for me. 9 or 10. Yes, 9 or 10 o'clock was always a challenge for me. Now I don't mess around. Now I don't mess around. I definitely try to get, if not 9, 10 o'clock. If I go to bed at 9, I'm usually up by like 3 in the morning, sometimes 4. If I go to bed by 9, so I usually get up really early. But the key hours of sleep are between 10 and 2. That is when you get cellular regeneration. That's when your body rebuilds itself, repairs itself. If you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not giving your body a chance to repair. You're not giving your cells a chance to replenish itself. You're not giving your body a chance to eliminate waste and dead cells and all that kind of stuff that it needs to get rid of. You're not obeying it so that it can produce for you. We have to do that. I found that I have to sleep in complete darkness. That's how we're all supposed to sleep. All this we have unnatural light, from the street lamps to computers. Some of us sleep with our phones, TVs on and stuff like that. That's not the way. That's actually going against nature. You must sleep in total darkness if you want the most optimal sleep. It should be in total darkness. When I'm in the islands, when I'm back home with my mom in Trinidad, lights out is lights out. You don't hear nothing but maybe crickets or something like that. And it's the best sleep ever. You get up well rested. You notice the difference because there's not a whole lot of appliances, computers, and noise going on. When it's time to sleep, everybody's in their house sleeping. You don't hear cars, highway cars, sirens, police sirens, and all that stuff like you do out here. You don't hear any of that. It's peaceful. It's peaceful. That's what my therapist told me, and to sleep with a heavy blanket. Oh, well, that's good. That's the best advice ever. Sleep with a blanket, and if you can crack the window and get some fresh air in there, that'll help you sleep too. But it's important for rebuilding tissues, organs, cells, getting rid of waste and all that, to get your sleep in as a woman. We don't want to prematurely age. We don't want to put ourselves in the casket before it's time. And the only way to not do that is to let your body be the boss of you. If you have indigestion from eating hot Cheetos, if hot Cheetos gives you indigestion, you say, okay, body, I understand. I can't eat the Cheetos. And that's it. There's no question. You're not trying to barter with, because you understand the body's not going to listen to you. No matter how much meditation you do, you can't do the hot Cheetos. The body has laid down the rules. You have to obey it. You have to obey it. Hi, Brianna. You have to obey it. So this is, I'm really tuning into this health thing. It's really full circle for me. Any of you that have been following me for a long time know that I started this channel. This channel was started for helping women lose weight and get themselves healthy. So this thing is like a full circle thing for me. I started this channel in 2007, I think. 2007 or 2008. And that's what it was initially about. So I'm going back to the beginning of things, because I'm realizing in my own experiences that we can't not include it. because it's the sum total of all the reasons why we feel jacked up about ourselves. Our daily habits are why we feel less than. I did a post the other day on Facebook after reading a young lady's post. She was ranting about a guy that dissed her and left her because she was black and fat for another black fat girl, and she felt so wronged by it. She felt so betrayed that he would make her feel so devalued for how she looked, and just to go to another woman who basically looked the same way. Let me say this about feeling devalued, or about people who devalue you. Feeling devalued is a choice. It's a choice. Because if I say to you, I don't like the way you look. What is that? I don't like the way you look. You're shaped like a beanbag. I don't like your teeth. I don't like your hair. You're not hitting on anything. What is that? That's my feelings about you. That's my feelings based on my observations, based on the lens on which I look at the world. And the reason why I've developed this lens is because of how I feel about myself. I interpret the world through my lens, and my lens was created on how I feel about me. This is all of us. So when I examine you and interpret what I see in you, that's my feelings about you. That's all it is. It's my feelings about you. What do you do after you hear someone's feelings about you? There's two decisions that you make. You either agree with them, yeah, I am ugly. Or, yeah, I don't look too good. Yeah, my shape is really bad. Yeah, I have ugly hair. Yeah, whatever it is. You either agree with them or you disagree with them. It's just two choices you make. So for them to devalue you, you have to agree with them. You have to agree with the statement that they're making. And a lot of us feel this devaluing, so-called, when it's an agreement. Really, everything they're stating to you is what you've already felt. Every statement that's made to degrade you, and you stay there in that relationship, means you agree with it. You agree with it. Because this young lady, she made statements about how he treated her bad, but you were in a relationship with someone that treated you bad because you agreed with what he thought of you. That's the only reason why any of us stay. That's the only reason. So is the offense what he thinks, or is the offense what you've always thought? Which is more offensive? What he's telling you he sees in you, or what you've thought of your whole effing time? Talk to me. Talk to me. This is the things that we're not honest about. We're not honest about what the things that people say. We internalize them, and we actually say, you know what, you're right. I've always felt this way. I've always felt this way about myself. And now I have someone actually admitting what I feel about myself. You know what that offers you? Relief. This is why you stay. It offers you relief because you have something in common with that person. As warped as it is, as unkind as it is, as degrading, demoralizing, whatever you want to choose as it is, now you have something in common with them, and it actually brings you emotionally closer to them to have this thing called, I'm not good enough in common with me. I feel relieved. I feel validated that you think I'm not good enough, because I've always thought that about myself. I feel validated now. Talk to me. This is our process. This is our process. And no amount of lipstick or new hairdo or cinched waist or I don't know, what else do we do? No amount of any superficial thing that we do is going to alter that. This is an internal thing. It's an internal thing. It's not a beauty thing. It's not a beauty thing. And that you know, and it's hard for us to wrap our head around it, because so much of our existence and the value that we're supposed to have is wrapped around what this outer shell looks like. And it doesn't matter if you're healthy as long as you're pretty, right? As long as you're well put together, as long as you clean up well, it doesn't matter if you're feeling jacked up. It doesn't matter if stuff is not working right on the inside. I look good. That's the problem that we have in our society today. It's all about you looking good rather than you feeling good. And you think there's no connection in feeling good and the daily habits of what you put in your mouth and how you self-care. Self-care is not a hairdo. I was a hairstylist for 20-something years. Hairdos are not, that's not self-care. That's image-based. That's just me creating an image to get to get likes in the world, to get along with people, to start conversations. That's all that is. It's a social thing for me to put on hair and makeup and nice clothes and everything. It helps me get along with people socially, but it doesn't have shite to do with self-esteem. It doesn't. If you're not doing everything you can to support yourself healthfully, holistically, then you don't have self-esteem. You don't have self-love. You don't really have it. It's a joke. It's a joke. The way he treated her, he will get it back through another chick. He may or may not. The universe doesn't work that way. We always think there's some sort of like there's fairness in the world. Like you do me bad and then something bad is going to happen to you kind of thing. That's not how things work, you know. That's not how things work. You get what you deserve. You don't get fairness. You get what you think you deserve. And there are people out here that think they deserve a lot of things. And they'll take from you, you know, with no remorse, no empathy, no second thought, because they feel they deserve it. And they live as long as anybody else. They live as long as anybody else. They have children and grandchildren. Some of them die with no diseases, nothing going on. Because they felt they deserved what they took. So this thing, you know, you do me bad and bad is going to come back to you. Only if he feels guilty will that happen. Only if he feels that what he took he didn't really deserve. That's the only way that this so-called retribution is going to happen. Some people skate past it. A lot of people skate past it. Right, look at the president. Perfect example. Perfect example. There's a lot of him around. Life is a game to him. You know? Life is a game. And life is a game. Life is a game for all of us. It is a game for all of us. There's no such thing as karma. Oh, you don't believe in karma? What is karma? Monique, explain to me what karma is. What is your definition of karma? I just told my ex last night, Debs, because she went to college, so I didn't think she's smarter than me. Going to college doesn't mean that you're smart. It may mean that you're disciplined more than anything, but it doesn't have a measure on smart. You could have a C all through school and graduate. A C minus and still graduate. College is not a measure of intellect. It's just not. You have to protect yourself just like you have to protect your children. Yeah. To me, there's no such word as love. Why do you say that? So what would you just made the statement that you have to protect yourself like you protect your children. What would drive you to do that? What would be your instincts or the catalyst for you to protect yourself or your children if you don't believe in love? Karma is a nice thought, a coping mechanism. Karma is the person getting the same bad treatment they did to another person, like what goes around comes around kind of thing. I believe, just like I said, I believe that if you feel you're doing wrong, when you're doing something, you are going to experience, what is it? A boomerang effect of that. Just like I believe if you feel you're doing right and you feel that this is the right thing to do, whatever it is, there's going to be a boomerang effect of that. So if you're doing something that you feel guilty about, if you're doing something that you feel is wrong, chances are you're going to screw up while you're doing it. Something's going to happen to cause you to feel some sort of pain with it, because you're not going to be efficient. Anything you do under the veil of guilt is not going to be successful. It's not going to be entirely successful. And to me, in that realm, when you're not 100% in to what it is you're doing, what it is you're trying to extract, what it is you're trying to get, then the outcome is it's going to be poor. It's going to be poor, and it's going to show up as fate and karma in your life. The outcome of feeling guilty about doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing shows up as fate in your life. That's what I believe. You have to be resolute. You have to be clear about what is right and wrong for you. You have to be clear about that. And a lot of us suffer because we're not clear about what's right and wrong. We do things, we believe in things that we think are wrong. Imagine that. We believe in things that we think are wrong. How do you expect a clear and concise outcome when you're not clear about your belief system? We agree with things that we don't like. We agree with things that we think are sinful. Why do we do that? Because the will of the other person is stronger than ours. Their convictions are stronger than yours. Their sense of right or wrong is absolute and yours is shaky. This is why you would ever agree to something that you think is wrong. Why would you ever do that? Because that other person is more convicted about what they feel, about what it is they want, than you are. You think there's not going to be a messy outcome when you do that? It always is. It always is. Because like I said, it shows up as fate. Later, you forgot you even agreed to the thing. You forgot you did the thing 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago. And then this month, there's a result of that action you agreed with 5 years ago, 6 months ago. And you didn't realize that you put in on that. You deposited money into that bank account of results. Strong convictions. You need strong convictions. That's what you need. When you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Yeah, that's true. People repeat everything their mother. That's right. This is what we do. We repeat because when you're young, you're influenced by people who have power, and the people who have power around you are the people who take care of you. And that's not even when you're young. That's when you're older too. When you're with the man that you think is better than you, you're gonna listen to him. Anybody that you think is better than you, you're gonna listen to. Anybody that you think has it better than you in any way, you're going to listen to them. Sometimes to your detriment. And it's unfortunate that that's the case. So sometimes to your detriment. That's why you have to evaluate. I know for some reason I'm really buffering today. I don't know what is going on. So I am going to end this live soon because this thing keeps cutting off on me. Can you be friends with an ex? You can. If I think you should. If you have kids with them, you definitely want to be on a friendly basis if you have to be. I don't know why some people do that though. I'm not really into being friends with exes kind of thing. I'm like, if we're over, there's a reason why we're over. Something must have happened for this thing to be over with. And you are not really a nice person. And that's why we're over. So I don't know how I could be friends with somebody that, I gave my body and soul to and it wasn't honored. And now I can be friends with you. I don't get it. And some chicks, they're friends with every ex they ever had. It's sort of like family reunion time. They could call each other up, go out, hang out, all kinds of stuff with an ex. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think once it's over, it's over. If I see you on the street, maybe a wave, but friends, an actual friendship, no. I don't see the point. Do you think are we get older, it all doesn't matter? Do you think as we get older, it all doesn't matter? Of course it won't matter. Just like what was important to you at 17, now that you're 30 or whatever, it doesn't matter to you now, right? So as you get older, your priorities are always going to transform and change as you get on in life, because there's things that you need now that you didn't need before. There's things that were important to you then that you realize are not really that important, that are negotiable, that are not the end all be all of things. When you're young, everything is a big deal. Everything has to be a certain way. Everything you eat has to taste good. Everything you wear has to look good. Everything has to be a certain way when you're younger. And as you climb the pyramid, as you climb up the pyramid and you experience life and you learn about people and you learn about yourself and you realize all the things that you hated about people were actually all the things that were inside of you, you start laughing at yourself and you start realizing that, wow, it's not, you know, all the stuff that I had disdain for was really a reflection of me. So now what do I do with that? Now that I realize all the things I hated were the things that I was, I have to now develop compassion and patience for my own self. Compassion, patience, understanding for my own self. And then evaluate, well, why do I hate this? Well, why does this turn me off? Well, why did it ever turn me off? Oh, because of something my mother said. Oh, because of something my first love did to me. Oh, because my brother teased me when I was a baby. Oh, whatever it is. And you start going back and combing over your life as you climb the ladder or climb the pyramid, you realize that a lot of things, everything's an illusion. That's what you realize. Been missing in action? Yes, I was. But I'm here now. They're not an ex if you're still going out and doing things as a couple. Keep them in the rear view and don't look back. Keep it moving. Well, you know, some people feel that it's important, that it's a sense of being highly developed if you can, I don't know, be friends with people who are exes in your life. They feel that that's a sign of emotional maturity and emotional growth. You know, you're expanded. You're a higher being because you're not harboring any guilt, resentment, pain, or whatever, and you can actually relate to this other person who just so happened to have been in your life intimately. You can relate to them as another human being. Some people are under the impression that they, you know, that's for them to be able to do that, they're highly elevated. I mean, we all have our influences, right? We all do. An outward appearance is an inward reflection, yes. Yes. Most of the disease that people get nowadays is caused by an unhealthy diet. I was surprised to find out this truth. They never taught me that in school. They don't teach, what do they teach us? I mean, we don't get any of that. Even doctors are not educated on diet. They spend, 8 hours of their whole residency focused on actual diet and how it affects your body, your organs, and functions like that. So a lot of us were never told. And a lot of us don't know how the body functions until stuff starts getting jacked up. And then we start looking for information on how to support this organ or something like that after start falling apart. That's usually how we get educated. That's usually how herbalists become herbalists, after they get sick. Dr. CB and the rest of them. You know, all healers got sick before they started healing themselves and other people. That's just the order of things. Salkis, how do you relate not caring to food? Just water, berries, and some lettuce? I'm not sure what you said. How do you relate not caring to food? What do you mean? I mean, water is essential, which, by the way, all of us are drinking water the wrong way. Let me just say something about water, because our bodies need it, but none of us are drinking it right. If you're drinking it ice cold, you'll shunt your system. You'll shock your system, and your kidneys will not be able to filter it. If you drink water standing up, you're going to put pressure on your kidneys as well. The most optimal way to drink water is room temperature while sitting and you sip it. You do not gulp. If you gulp water down, you lose electrolytes. You should never gulp your water down. If you want your cells to really hydrate, you sit and you sip your water. Sit and sip room temperature water. That is how you hydrate. So all this guzzling that people are doing, this is why you're losing electrolytes. This is why you got to pee within 5 minutes of drinking the water. The body's not holding the water. If you sip the water, your body will hold the water longer and you will hydrate yourself. So please take that tip and use it today. That's free. Drink your water by sipping room temperature. Thank you for the donation, Marilyn. All our hearts back to you. I appreciate it. Unless they came out of the closet or something, I don't understand the point. It didn't work, let it go. I'm a vegetarian, but want to simplify it all the way down. Well, if you're vegetarian and you feel like it's working for you, then let that be that. Unless there's something more you feel you can be doing, simplifying it to what? I think you know what? The simplest way to eat is by not eating oils, salt, and sugar. If we want to really simplify things, Zen, my sister, salt, sugar, and oil, take those out of your diet. You can leave, you don't have to guess on anything else if you take those things out of your diet. That will simplify it. And that will give your body, your organs, a chance to digest, assimilate, and eliminate properly. And when I say oils, I mean synthetic man-made oils. Any oil that's in a bottle, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about nuts and seeds, avocados, natural oils like that. I'm talking about anything that is packaged in a bottle, has been bleached, because most of the oils are rancid. They put bleach in the oils so that you don't smell the rancicity. Is that a word? The rancicity, I think that's how you say it. Or the rancidness of the oil, they bleach them. So this oils have no caloric benefit. It has nothing in them for the body. The body can't use them. Causes fatty liver, clogs up your arteries, causes all kinds of diseases. If you want to simplify, get rid of that. Get rid of the salts, and you'll be better off. Let's see. Water is in everything except liquor. All right, John. That's things that make you go, I think. Hot water isn't good. No extreme temperatures are good for the digestive system. Not extremely hot and not extremely cold. You want room temperature food and drink so that the body isn't shocked and that the organs start to shunt or shut down on you. If you want everything to flow, don't do super hot or in temperature or super cold in temperature. That means we shouldn't be eating ice cream, ices, stuff like that, which are so good when it's hot. All the stuff that's normal. All the stuff that's normal is bad for us. We shouldn't even be eating pre-cut fruits. Do you know pre-cut fruits are acidic? After you cut the fruits and let it sit, it becomes acidic. The best way to eat fruit is to cut it and eat it within 20 minutes of cutting it, because it has all the life force, all the nutrients and life force energy still within it, and your body gets the minerals and all that stuff that it needs from it. After you let fruit sit, you put it in the refrigerator, you know, that cut fruit and stuff at the grocery stores, it's acid. Pure, it's just acidic. No benefits after it's cut. So, you're welcome, Brianna. Interesting, I do room temperature, but sometimes I stand and guzzle at the gym. Yeah, a lot of people stand and guzzle at the gym. Find a bench or something and sip. Guzzling is not going to hydrate you. Just try it today. Everybody on this live, try sipping your water instead of guzzling it today. Sip your room temperature water and note how often you go to the bathroom when you do it that way. Just take note of how many trips you're taking to the bathroom and how and how hydrated versus the other way that you do it that you feel. Just experiment. And then you come back and tell me what happened. True, when they give you fluids through an IV, it's always small increments. Bingo! Isn't an IV drip? It's nothing guzzling through there. It's an IV drip. That's how you hydrate. When people keep exes in their life, they can still be sleeping with them when they enter new relationships. Yeah. They can. Not everybody does. But a lot of times when you're keeping a relationship going, you're keeping an emotional attachment going, it's easy to fall into their arms, especially if something goes bad, you know, in your current relationship. It's an easy fall when they're around. No oil. What about black seed oil? I wouldn't say that. If I'm right now, I'm following Dr. CB's nutritional guide list, and he doesn't have black seed oil on there as the preferable oil to use. I think he has coconut oil, but you can't cook with it. The only oil you can cook with is grape seed. What was it? Grape seed. Oh man, what was the other one? I can't remember the other one, but grape seed you can cook with, and there's one other one that you can cook with. And you can use coconut oil, but you can't cook with that. But black seed oil wasn't a part of that. But to me, all the oils, you know, if we're talking about being alkaline, which is what you want to be in your diet, when you fry food, it's acid. You can use the grapeseed oil to cook with, but once you fry the food and you char it, and you got that browning and stuff. That's a carcinogen. You poison it, it becomes acid. So I really, even in his food list, and you know, I'm a part of a few groups that share recipes and stuff like that. Everybody's frying. Everybody's doing, you know, chickpea fritters, fried pancakes, fried this, fried. Everybody's frying. And I'm like, this is not alkaline. Where's the raw food? Everybody has a fried something on their plate. You change the structure of the food when you fry it. So, you know, if you want to go clean, like really clean, because any kind of oil, it slows down the digestion too. It really slows it down. You just don't change up your food. Really, you want to eat it as bland as possible. But who wants to do that, right? Who wants to do that? I usually consume a teaspoon of black seed oil and moringa every day. Okay, well, if you know, if that's doing something for you, then do it. If you're feeling good with it, if it's beneficial to you, if it's beneficial, then I say do it. Then I think you should. They say the same about coconut oil. Take a teaspoon. Yeah, oil is not a food, you guys. You know, I would say don't believe the hype with it. Oil is not a food. It's not a food. We just use it to, you know, to grease up our foods. but it's not a food. Is that the same when using olive oil? I think olive oil, you can use olive oil. I'm not sure if on his list you can cook with it. You might be able to. I would have to check. Again, I'm not sure. But honestly, for optimal health, like I said, salt, sugar, and oil. If we get those out of our diets and just eat whole foods, not fried, just whole foods in its natural form, you're going to see an improvement. You're going to lose weight. You're going to see an improvement all around. Coconut oil can be good for hair. Yeah, topically, yeah, it's good for, skin, hair. Ma'am, I apologize any disrespect or being too forward, but you are a very beautiful woman. Well, thank you, John. That's not disrespectful. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. You can't cook with olive oil. It can't be heated. Yeah, I believe you can't. But there's one other oil, and I can't think of it now. I think sesame oil was on there, too. You can eat sesame oil. If you're following CB's nutritional guide, you can eat sesame oil also. I'm surely trying to go toward just simple eating. Fruits and veggies. The boring stuff. Fruits and veggies are the simplest things for us to consume. The most natural, simplest things for us to consume is just fruits, veggies, some seeds, and that's it. I've been trying to fast and it's been tough. I need to get rid of excess weight. I would say go trying to do a fast. I think you should just eat clean. A lot of us like to go straight into a fast like it's going to fix something. And it's really in your day-to-day, what you're eating on a daily basis, that's going to be more impactful. To try to go, if you can't not eat salt, then trying to do a fast is not going to be beneficial to you. You know what I mean? So it's about cleaning up your day-to-day diet. Getting rid of the processed foods would be something more beneficial for you to do right now than trying to plunge into something as disciplined as a fast with no food. Like if you can't stop eating sugar or salt, you're gonna do no food. Like for how long? And then once you get off the fast, then what are you gonna do? Go back to the sugar and salt and all that stuff again? So I wouldn't even go there. Fasting is not. It's not a cure. It's the discipline, the day-to-day discipline that you're looking for. That's what you want. Walnut, avocado oil. I wouldn't do it processed stuff. It's best to eat the avocado, not avocado oil. It's best to eat the walnut, not walnut oil. Eat the whole food. Where does CB get his wisdom and knowledge about foods and nutrition for our body? Well, he's no longer living. He's amongst the angels now. But I remember, him talking about early beginnings as a steam engineer and somehow correlating the acid-alkaline balance to his knowledge of engineering. What the process was to research what foods were alkaline and what wasn't, I couldn't say exactly. I think it's something that you can do yourself. You can research yourself, but there's a lot of misleading information out there about the benefits of certain things. Like, garlic is pushed as a beneficial food, and it's really not. Hey, Emmy. I remember talking to him about garlic and him saying that, yes, it will clear your arteries if you have plaque in your arteries, but it will eat through your tissues too. Like it'll eat through the fat, but it keeps eating through. The point is garlic doesn't stop when it says, oh, okay, we got all the fat and the cholesterol out your veins. It doesn't say, oh, our job is done. It'll eat through your tissues also. And this is why he never recommended garlic. And I think on a pH scale, garlic is like a 2 point something or maybe a 3. So it's very, very acidic. And his main thing was, to stay away from anything hybrid because. So that's what that is. I was trying to help you think of the other oils that were good for us. There are no oils that all the oils are rancid. They use bleach to hide the rancidness of it. They're not a food. Oil is not a food. Just consider that. We use oil for cooking, but oil is not a food. It's not. Karma is useless. It comes around after the deed is done. You don't get the benefit of witnessing the redemption. So screw karma. It needs to show up before, not after. All right. I agree. It is useless. Like, what's the point of karma? If I don't see you suffering after you've made me suffer, then what is the point, right? I agree with that. I agree. And like I said, some people don't suffer. Haven't you had an ex that dogged you out, and then after that got married to someone better looking than you, have a nice house, car, kids are cute, everybody's doing well, and you like, well, what happened to my karma there? You treated me like shite. What happened to the karma there? And you actually was able to pull a woman better looking than me after you dogged me out? Doesn't that happen? So it's like karma is a hit or miss. There's no absolute formula to this thing. There's no actual schedule of redemption when someone's done wrong. That doesn't exist. What I'm saying is to me, it doesn't exist. Whatever people get what they deserve. That's what I feel exists for all of us. Is that we get what we deserve. And what we deserve is what we think we deserve. And it's really that simple. We can go mysticism with it. We can go real mystic with it. And real complicated with it. But this is the only way we can explain why do evil people flourish? Why do they have children, and why do they live long enough to see grandchildren and great-grandchildren if they're evil? Why do some people get away with murder? Why do these things happen? Why? And then why do good people die young? Why do good people, suffer and have to work so hard and are treated unfairly and all that kind of stuff? Everyone's getting what they deserve. Everyone. I see the suffering, sadly to say. I tell her that's what you get for dogging me. All right. I think sometimes that it is best, that is the best it will be. That is the best we will get, so we stay focused on it. What do you mean, as far as you feeling deserving of something? Of course, you're programmed to feel deserving of a certain level of things. And in order for us to get out of that program, we have to experience something. People around us who can pour belief into us until we can belief in ourselves. It's that kind of thing. We all have a ceiling based on our experiences. Our experiences are our reality. And until we experience something else, it's not a reality. But if we know someone who has, then we can mirror that and adopt that and say, yes, okay, that's possible. She got that. That is possible for me. And you throw all of your mental energy into that, all of your convictions into that possibility. And you don't let go. You like a pit bull with a steak in his mouth. You just don't let go of the desire, the will, the want, whatever it is. You don't let go no matter what. Why people are focused on their ex, watching them flourish as we suffer? I don't know. Some people are not over their exes emotionally, and you know, they still want to be a part of their lives. So wanting to know what they're doing, wanting to keep up with them is just a way for them to satisfy their own emotional needs to be a part of their lives. You know? Then you have others, once it's over, that's it. You never existed. You know, so each of us, we you know, people cope differently with things. All of us are not the same. I personally feel once, if something happened for me to no longer be with you, there's a reason for that. And the foundation for a friendship with someone like that is just not there. Like a friendship. Now, I believe like certain people that break up you can get back together and all that, but just to have a platonic friendship with you for no other reason than I just want to keep in touch or whatever, I don't get it. I don't get it. Ah, fly, get out of here. I don't get it. So that's what it is, people. We have to move forward. So many things to fix in ourselves. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of work to do. There's a whole bunch of forward movement that we should be concentrating on. A whole bunch of that. Nobody should be bored. There's always something to do. Nobody should be bored. None of us. Boredom is like another way of saying boredom is like a depression. It's just another depression. And it's another form of fear and self-doubt. Fear, self-doubt, depression shows as laziness and boredom. Same thing. Guys shouldn't start a new relationship with a new woman if he still has feelings for an ex. Monique, you are really delusional. People are going to have feelings for other people. I don't really know anybody. I've never met anybody who started a new relationship with that didn't have lingering feelings for somebody else, who didn't occasionally think about an ex that they were in love with, thinking of or thought about getting back together with somebody. There's no, a feeling is a feeling. Now, if you're acting on it, that's something else. But to assume that every man you sit across from the dinner table with is not thinking about an ex, it's a little, you're delusional. You're delusional. You can't contain a feeling. The only thing that contains feelings is discipline. I could be a slut right now. If I'm just going by a feeling, there's a few people, you know, I wouldn't mind tossing it up with if I'm just going by my feelings. But you can't let your feelings rule you. You have to have discipline, because if you follow a feeling, there's going to be a result of the actions that you take. They're going to be results. They're going to be results. So we can't bypass that. But to say that somebody's supposed to be totally over somebody else when he's trying to have a get together with you or get to know you or get in a relationship with you, how many people are really totally over? How many? How many? Most of us are damaged because of love. You want the black pill on that? Most of us, including you, Monique, are damaged because of relationships, because of rejection, the rejections we have felt from lovers. The most damage that happens to us is due to romantic love. Not even from your mother. Your mother could reject you, but a lover's rejection, you know, that's next level. And most of us are walking around here damaged. Everyone you meet. Everyone you meet. You can't control someone else's mind about the ex. No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. Oh, Monique says, I'm not delusional. It happens a lot with most people. That's why everyone wants friends with benefits. Yeah, I agree. People are damaged by love. You're not delusional. I'm talking about the statement you made is delusional. It is. To say that someone has to be totally over somebody in order to start a new relationship, that is... Let me choose another word besides delusional. That's... immature thinking. We'll swap delusional for immature, if that sounds better. It's not realistic. Can you talk about Cardi B admitting to drugging men and robbing them? I didn't know she did that. Wow. I guess, was that back in her stripper days? Drugging them to do what? Oh, so she drugged them first, and then she robbed them for their money? Thank God she doesn't have to do that anymore, huh? I don't know what to say about it. Everyone has a past. Why she admitted to that, I don't know. You know, I don't think you have to admit to everything. Like, what would have been, what was the basis of bringing that up? I don't. Ugh. Another thing for us to go, ooh, Cardi B. I don't know. I don't know. She drugged them after she brought them to the house to have sex. She robbed them to pay for studio time. Oh, did she? Well, then what she did was an example of what I'm talking about. She did not feel that it was wrong for her to do that. It was for a purpose, and the purpose was the studio time, and now look where she is. Now, if she had felt guilty about it, you know what would have happened if she felt guilty about what she did? She would have drugged them, or drugged one of them, and not drugged him enough, and he would have woke up in the middle of her digging in his wallet, and he would have beat the brakes off of her, busted her face up, and she wouldn't have looked cute enough to get no stripper gig, no music gig, no nothing. That's what would have happened if she was feeling guilty. But because she didn't, she got away with it. She got her studio time, and now she's a Grammy winner, whatever it is. That's how this thing works. That's how this thing works. Oh, it's an old video that resurfaced. Oh, okay. Okay. Somebody says fake news. I don't know. Could be. She was getting her butt beat by her ex-boyfriend. She had a hard knock life. Yep, as you know, sexually available as I'm assuming she was, sexually appealing, because if you're a stripper, you're sexually appealing. That didn't stop her from experiencing physical abuse. It didn't stop her from experiencing that. And that's the thing. These are the conclusions we all have to come to. Whether you look good or not, whether you have a nice body or not, whether you have high sexual skills or not, it doesn't immunize you from being taken advantage of. It doesn't immunize you from that. It can happen to any woman. Also, did you hear about Wendy Williams' husband having a side chick baby on her? Yeah, I saw a few. Well, I glanced. I don't really watch too much of that, the gossip stuff. But I saw some headlines coming up on my feed about her husband recently having a baby with his longtime This woman has been in his life for a long time. He bought her a house. And this is sort of like the second wife. You know, she's not just a girlfriend. She's like another wife in that situation. From what I could tell, she's been in the picture for a long time. So, and then I think Wendy just admitted that she's in rehab and stuff. So she's going through a lot right now. She's going through a lot right now. She's with a man who is basically moved on. He's there, but has moved on at the same time. And as a woman, it's rough because it's like, you know, you want to hold it together. It's like, you know, you leave him. You're thinking to yourself, I'm sure she's thinking to herself, leave him to be with who? To be with who after all of these years? To go through a divorce and have him take half my money, which is probably what's going to happen, just like what Mary J. Blige went through. It's like, and to leave him to do dating and become a cougar or a target for other people, other men trying to have a money grab. It's like, what you know, what's the point? Because you know, her status now, what are the chances of her getting a man around her age that wants her? If she were a man, it would be a no-brainer. But she's a woman, she has money. What's the chances of her getting someone on her level, in her age group, that wants her? These are the things that we have to look at. It's unfortunate. I don't like what's going on with her right now. She's going through a lot. You know we have a lot we could say about her. She's a gossip queen. She deserved it, whatever. But I don't wish what's going on with her right now with nobody. Nobody. It's hard to be with a man who doesn't want to be with you, who clearly doesn't want to be with you. That's a hard pill to swallow. Maybe that ran her to rehab. I'm assuming that, you know, the whole thing with her relationship with him might have contributed to her relapse on drugs. You know, it's unfortunate. Wendy didn't keep herself up, so she has to settle. Does every woman that gets cheated on look like she hasn't kept herself? Does the woman didn't keep herself up? That's the first thing we do as women. Oh, she's unattractive. What does she expect? She doesn't look good, so that's why he left. Why is she surprised that he left when her body looks like this or that or the other? We always do that. We always do that. Like, looks is the cure-all for everything. Like, all you got to do is look good and your man will stay home. Don't we see that that's not true? How many reality shows do we have to look at to know that that's not true? Wendy can maybe still have a chance of a new guy if she finds an older guy in his 70s once she gets herself together. No, I'm not saying if Wendy kept herself up, she would have a better options as far as dating. Okay. I got cheated on. I've always been tall, slim, and fine. Looks are not always the deciding factor. Now I'm an ugly girl. Woo, woo! I'm an ugly girl too, Brianna. Ugly Girls Club. Ugly Girls Club, activate. Thundercats, activate. That's what I'm talking about. Beyonce pretty, she got cheated on. You know? And eventually they're going to say she's washed up too, like they do with all of us women. They're going to say because they've already started that. They've already started that. As soon as she had kids, as soon as Beyonce put out the twins, her vixen archetype took a downhill slope, because you can't be a vixen and a mother of three at the same time. It's very hard to do. So now she's in another hat. She's in another space in her life as a woman. She's a mother now. She's not a sexual object. Because she has three kids. She's a mom. And these are steps and stages, like I say all the time, that we all go through. You're not going to be a sexual siren your whole life. Those of you ladies that are on this live that are in your 20s, or you cute for 35, or whatever you think you are, you're not going to be a vixen, a sexual object your whole life. That's going to end. That's going to end. So does that mean you deserve to be disrespected, mistreated, and disregarded, thrown away? We have to decide what, the order of operations. We have to decide what's normal and what we're going to support, especially with each other, because we tell each other things. We misguide each other as women. We point the finger at each other, especially based on looks. We do this more than men do. And because we do this to each other is the reason why men have carte blanche, or the ability to be so free with what they think, who they think is worth what, and who they think ain't worth what. They listening to us. They listening to us chatter about amongst ourselves. Because men want to impress women, if you didn't know that. Men do things to get the approval of women. So if we're downplaying each other, and if we say, ooh, she don't look like, and she don't look like, and she don't look like, they're listening to that, and they're like, okay, if y'all ain't impressed by that, then this is not going to upgrade my status right here. I got to check for something else. Because truth be told, men take what you give them. Men just take what you give them. Preference, we like to pretend like men have all this preference. But at the end of the day, it's how you present what you're giving, how you package, present, how you talk up yourself and all that. It's your marketing strategy that determines how you're treated. Not how you look. Not how you look. Sorry. That's what it is. You said she hasn't bounced back since. No. There's no bounce back. She's in another stage of her life. And it's okay to be in that stage. She's in another stage of her life. But we assume that this sex siren, the sex vixen thing, it's got to be, your entire life. That is a sum. That's the pinnacle of your worth is in your sexual attractiveness, and you got to maintain that your entire life. Although Angela Bassett is, she's changing the game on how 60 looks, but she's extremely disciplined. She's extremely disciplined, but at the same time, wash the makeup off, take the wig off. She probably looks close to 60 without the glam squad. You know what I mean? I'm sure she looks really closer, maybe not 60, but a lot more closer to that range when she's not put together. Glamour is illusion. Makeup is sorcery. That's literally what cosmetics, it means sorcery. It means magic. Look it up. Look up the etymology of the word cosmetic. It's sorcery. And you're right, Angela Bassett never gave birth to actual children, so who knows what kind of changes would have happened to her had she actually given birth. Beyonce gave birth to life. Her body changed. Her body changed. It is what it is. It is what it is. So beautiful and ugly are this at the same time. Gracefully evolve. What's the solution? What do you mean? The solution to what, Riley? The solution to what? I embrace it. To act like Madonna does at times, kissing Drake on stage, huh? The solution, adage of treating others as you'd like to be treated. If she thinks she's worth it, she is. I can't be around women that don't think they're worth it. Right? She's beautiful with and without makeup. Rare beauty, sorcery too, though. Who? Angela Bassett? She's a regular woman like any other woman. There's nothing exceptional about her without makeup and hair. You won't go, oh, she looks good for the fact that she's very disciplined, and she definitely exemplifies discipline and self-care. That's definitely what she does. That's definitely what she does. Halle Berry is still a sex object in some ways, and she's 52. No, she's not. No, she's not. You don't hear her name come up. She 15, 20 years ago, yes. Halle Berry's name was the first name that came up with in association with anybody beautiful. She's no longer the first name that comes up, and that's not taking away anything from her. She's still beautiful, but a sex object, no. After she had children, that went away too. That went away too. But Kim Kardashian, I like her and all, but it seems like she defies aging, yet her mother looks old and not curvy. You said Kim Kardashian defies aging, but her mother looks old and not curvy? I don't even know how to respond to that. So every woman has to be curvy? What do you mean, a big butt? What do you... I don't even know what you mean. I don't even know what you mean. Hallie is boring as hell. How do you get over male attention for those who enjoy the gaze? I guess everyone wants to be sexually desired. How do you become indifferent to that? Your answer is abstinence? Well, my question to you is, why do you want to become indifferent to it? What is it about that you don't like? Why don't you like the satisfaction you get from having attention from men? Why don't you like it? If you see it as a problem, what's the problem with it to you? That would be the question. That would be the question. Somebody said, come on, Rosemary. Yeah, I don't know what, Rosemary, I don't know what you mean by that. It feels vain, like I'm being vain. So the cure for being vain, the cure for your vanity issues is to stop wearing lipstick and makeup, stop showing your body, wear flats instead of heels, and don't be sexually suggestive. That's the way to cure that. You're asking, how do you stop feeling that way? Just don't dress that way to invite the attention, and that cures that. Wouldn't it cure that? Don't do things, don't dress in a way that invites that type of attention. How do you not be vain? Don't do the things that encourage vanity. I love male attention. I can admit that. You love it, but you feel guilty about it? I don't understand how you love it, but you feel guilty about it. How is that the case? I don't think you're being honest. You love it, but you feel guilty. You feel like, I guess you must feel some sort of validation from it. Somebody keeps calling me here. You must feel some sort of validation from it, or else you wouldn't do it. A lot of women want to be seen. You're not the only one. A lot of women feel that the only way they can feel important is by being seen, by being recognized, and in particular by men. This is most women, a lot of women. The only problem with that, oh God, who is this? The only problem with that is that a lot of women feel that the attention that they get means something. And the attention that you get from men, it doesn't hold any value. That's the point. That's the part of it that we don't get. You want it because you feel it has value, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't. At the end of the day. It really doesn't. So that's what it is. I'm not vain. I feel like loving male attention is vain. All right. So then you have to work that out within yourself. See, just like I said at the beginning of this live, is that we believe in things that we don't like. We do things that we don't like to do. We have beliefs that we know aren't true. It's just we're all messed up. You have to align yourself with your truth. If you feel that it's vain, obviously being vain is not a good feeling for you. But you still set up your life in a way where you're encouraging, you're the catalyst for the interactions that you're getting from men, because you love that, but at the same time you feel guilty about it. Or so you say. You have to align yourself with one or the other. Why would you do something that you feel guilty about? Why? You have to first figure out what's the guilt in it. Did your mother tell you something about, the attention of men? Was it something? Are you a church girl? Like, where's the guilt coming from? What's the basis of your guilt? What's the basis of your guilt? Men will never stop giving women they find attractive attention. I mean, that's a given. If you're attractive, you're going to get attention, but there are different types of attention. There's respectful attention. There's lustful attention. There's aggressive, abrasive attention. Like, there's different types. There's different types. Someone could find you sexy or whatever, even if you're wearing a turtleneck. Even if you're wearing a turtleneck and mom jeans, I don't think it's the woman to blame, but more the dirty minds of men. That's not true. Now that's delusional. Women know what they do. When you get dressed in the morning, you know what you're showing and what you're not. You know what you're emphasizing and what you're not. And you know why you're emphasizing what you're emphasizing and why you're hiding what you're hiding. We diminish things and we emphasize things for attention or distraction when we get dressed in the morning. Every woman. It's not the dirty minds of men. We dress purposefully. We dress with a purpose. Every woman does. And we have to stop that delusion about it's just the dirty minds of men. Like you can walk out on the sidewalk with a mini skirt on with your your booty showing, and it's his dirty mind if he reacts to that. When you got dressed, you knew that you were exposing yourself. You knew what reaction you were going to get, and it was all premeditated, but you're saying his mind was dirty when you were thinking that you were going to get that reaction too. You both share the same mentality. You in expecting and presuming you were going to get a reaction, and him in reacting. You both had conclusions or predisposed for certain things in your mind. Women and men do this. But we're not honest. We're not honest. There's very few women that could walk around in a burlap sack and attract attention unless she is extremely voluptuous. You have women that are extremely voluptuous, and she can be in a granny dress. She can be in a granny duster, and because she's so shapely, she still invites the curiosity and sexual lust of men. You have women that are like that. Not too many, but you have women that are like that, that are shaped like that, no matter what they wear. She could walk around in a sack, in a potato sack, and men are still looking, wondering what's going on up under the dress. There's a few, but for the most part, like I said, women plan what they're gonna show and what they're gonna hide when they look in the mirror every day. Every day. It's a tactic. We are strategists. That's what we are. My point is that I shouldn't have to limit the way I decide to dress. No, who's talking about limit? I was addressing the other sister that said she felt it's vain to want the attention of men, but she also liked it. So she felt it was a problem with getting men's attention, but she also said she not liked it, but loved it. So she has a conflict in her mind and some things to work out within her own sense of right and wrong with. Never say that. I would never say you have to alter yourself, but you want to alter for whatever your goal is. You want to make alterations based on your goals and based on what kind of reaction and what kind of attention you want. You're going to have to do that. There is no way around that. Because the same way you do things to get attention, you're doing them because you know they will give you attention. Women dress for attention. So how can you say, he's supposed to not think this certain way when you're dressing for people to think a certain way? Oh, why should he think that way? But you put all your whole wardrobe together to make people think a certain way. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. No, you shouldn't, and you should not wear what makes you comfortable. Yes, wear what you want. Wear what you want. But you got to work out your thing with feeling that male attention is wrong. The male attention you're getting is wrong. You have to work that out. That's something you have to work out. There's an inconsistency there. And there's a reason why you feel badly about it. And you have to figure out what that is and either align yourself with not feeling bad anymore or accepting the fact that, hey, I'm a vain girl and I want to be the center of attention. Is there anything wrong with that? Not unless you think that it is. Not unless that you think that it is. All I'm saying at the end of the day, that male attention has no value. That's what I'm saying. So out of anything I'm saying, you can wear your whole clothes or whatever it is you want. What I'm saying is that the attention that you get from deliberately making yourself attractive for men has no value at the end of the day. Other than you getting him hard, I'm like, what's the payoff? Okay, he wants to have sex with you. What's the value in that? That's what I would ask. What's the value in that? There is none. Not unless he wants to marry you, put you in a house, and put you on the deed, and pay your insurance and all that kind of, help you finish school or what. Not unless all the other stuff comes behind it. There's no value in you being able to get a man's penis hard. None. None. So that's all I'm saying. Yes, Stephanie, it's the black pill. So I got to get ready to jump off this live right now. I'm still getting, hold on. I got to get ready to get off this live. Somebody keeps calling me. So I hope this was enlightening for you all. I just say thank you, keep it pushing. Yeah, that's what we got to do. There is a hole in me. I have to fill it. I'm working on it. I know there's a hole in there. There's a whole lot going on in there that, you can't cover it in one shot. You can't cover it in one shot. I understand that. That's why I was asking the question. You got to figure some things out. Maybe we should do a session together. All the links, I don't know if I put links in this live, but I will when I get off to contact me. And those of you ladies who haven't signed up for the Ugly Girls Club, I'm still working on it. That's still in full effect. You can sign up. I'm going to put the link in the description box for that as well. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Yes, let's do it. I'll send you the if you email me at which one of my emails? Just email me at Salkis at iloveherart.com. That's SALKIS at iloveherart.com, and I'll send you the information. I'll send you information to sign up. All right, you guys, I'm out of here.